Hey there, Vinyl Community people. It's Mike, MGK Boston, back with yet another video. This one, an impromptu one. I just watched a video. A friend of mine, Steve from All the World's a Stage. Yes, he contributed this shirt to the MGK Summer 2023 fashion collection. So I was like, Steve did his 12 favorite or greatest live albums. I have a lot of live albums. In fact, one of my very first Vinyl Community videos that I attempted was some of my favorite live albums. So I hope some of these aren't repetitive. I don't think they are, because like I said, I have a lot of live albums in the old library. So I just threw this together real quick, and these are by no means my favorites, but they're highly recommended, all of them, or they wouldn't be in this video, as the saying goes, or I like to say anyway. So these are not ranked. It's just 12. They're all equally good. I would listen to any of these any day of the week, any hour, anytime. So anyway, we'll kick it off. We'll be coming in hot. I got Motorhead right here. No Sleep Till Hammersmith. Of course, that they're referring to as the Hammersmith Odeon in London, England. This is a live set. This is was their sixth album overall. I think there was 5 studio albums, and then they had this live one in 1981. So yeah, they're all here. We got Ace of Spades, Stay Clean, Overkill, Bomber, and We Are the Road Crew, all classics. So there in the back, there's a few shots of the band there. And on the inside, pretty nice liner notes if I remember correctly with this one. Yeah, lots of photos. There's a nice shot of Lemmy right there, Lemmy Kilmister. Forget the drummer's name. There he is in the middle. And of course, Ace of Spades on his bass drums right there. So yeah, that's Motorhead. No Sleep Till Hammersmith. All right. And we're going over to Michigan now, live in Detroit. It's Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. This is 1981, the release date on this one. Of course, it's called Nine Tonight. This is his second live album. He came in with Live Bullet 4 albums prior to this one, I think in 1975. And that was also recorded in Detroit. This one's actually a split between right here in Boston, the Boston Garden in 1980. Like I said, the Boston set is October 1980 and June 1980 for the set in Detroit, Michigan. So not sure if it was Joe Louis Arena or whatever venue in Detroit. There Bob is down front and center, and his band. He just had a terrific band. Yeah, and this one, you got it all on here. Betty Lou's Getting Out Tonight, Night Moves, Rock and Roll Never Forgets. Does an excellent version of Chuck Berry's Let It Rock. That is really worth the price of admission. And of course, he kicks the whole thing off with the track Nine Tonight. And Hollywood Nights, I mean, this is just stacked. The only song in this I could do without is Old Time Rock and Roll, because I've just heard it a million times. But anyway, yeah. That's Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. Nine Tonight. Be there. Be there or be square. All right, where are we at here? Yes, the bad boys from Germany, there they are. It's the Scorpions, worldwide live. Arguably here they were at their commercial peak in 1985 when this was released, right on the, I think on the back of Blackout, maybe around this period. And yeah, this is recorded across a number of venues in the United States. So you've got tracks on here from Love Drive, Animal Magnetism, Blackout, and Love at First Sting are featured on this one. So on that note, Big City Nights, you've heard that before. Still Loving You. I mean, Klaus Meine, he could sing, or he could really deliver a ballad, and that's a good one there. And Holiday's another good example of a ballad. Rock You Like a Hurricane, Can't Live Without You, Another Piece of Meat, Six String Sting, and No One Like You. I mean, this is really, really loaded. One of my favorites. And I bought this in high school way back in the day. There they are. And like I mentioned, there's frontman Klaus Meine down in front. I saw them on the Tease Me, Please Me tour. I think the date on that was 1991 in Ottawa. And I can't remember who opened, but that was a really, really awesome show. Not a great album they were touring on, but still, they just put on such an amazing show. Those guys love to play live. And, you know, Klaus Meine, they just put out a new studio album over the past 12 months. I haven't heard the whole thing yet, only a couple songs, and it's actually really good. So, yeah, I mean, they're still touring. Time's running out, though. You get to be 73 as a singer. But, yeah, I'd like to see them one more time if I could, since we're talking about live shows, and that's what this video is. This is another classic. Introduced a lot of people to the world of blues music in the United States. 1970, they released 71 on this one, Johnny Winter Live. And this is just a big selling record, very popular record. Oh, there he is right there. Saw him open for George Thorogood in 1985. You know, you could say that George Thorogood should have been opening for him, but I'm not the concert promoter. I was just attending the show. So anyway, yeah, Good Morning Little Schoolgirl kicks this thing off, and there's a cool rock and roll medley on side 2 with Great Balls of Fire, Long Tall Sally, and a whole lot of shaking going on. And he closes the thing out with an ode to Chuck Berry, Johnny Be Good, and that's really good too on here. So yeah, he had Rick Derringer in the band on rhythm guitar, a guy named Randy Joe Hobbs on bass, and Bobby Caldwell on percussion. So this was recorded, the bulk of it at the Fillmore East, of course in New York City, Bill Graham's Fillmore East, and someplace called Pirates World in Florida, down in crazy Florida. So yeah, ripping it up down in the Sunshine State and at the Fillmore East. All right, so this is an interesting one. This was released way after the Police had broken up. They broke up in '84, and this was released in 1995, and this was culled from 2 shows. So disc 1 features tracks from Outlandos d'Amour and Regatta de Blanc, and that was recorded right here in Boston at the Orpheum Theater, and it was actually broadcast live on the formerly known, it's no longer in existence. It was up until a few years ago, WBCN, which was a revolutionary radio station from the 60s up until its demise. Corporate radio killed it, but it was one of the original freeform FM stations in the United States. WBCN, you could look up. There's an excellent documentary. I think PBS put it out on WBCN. If you look up WBCN documentary, that'll come up. Really great. So anyway, and then disc 2 was from the Synchronicity Tour, and that was recorded in 1983. I should say that Orpheum show of disc 1 is from 1979. And then 1983 on disc 2 was the Synchronicity Tour. And again, that one was recorded in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's see what's on the inside. There you go. It's the Police Live. There's Andy Summers. Really great trio. I have all the Police studio stuff and this live album. I even have a couple of Sting solo albums. He can irritate me at times with his almost borderline adult contemporary stylings. But the Police, when they were on, they were on. I never got to see the band. I don't know. I was just starting to go to concerts around 1983, 84. And they, like I said, they were done after 83. These are some good shots, too, of the other guys right here. Again, there's that shot of Andy Summers, and there's Stuart Copeland. And there's Gordon Sumner, also known as Sting. So that is the Police. Really nice double CD set there. Live in 2 venues, Boston and Atlanta. All right. Neil Young, I'm a huge fan. I'm not a completist, but I do have a lot of Neil Young in my collection. Here he is with Neil Young and Crazy Horse, of course, his band. This one was recorded at the Cow Palace. That's a venue that's no longer in existence, in 1979, and that was in San Francisco, California. This is a double live set. Really excellent. They're all here. Sugar Mountain, After the Gold Rush, My, Hey Hey. The Needle and the Damage Done, that's a really good one, As Dark as It Is. And probably one of my favorite Neil Young songs where he really rocks out on the guitar. And that would be a track on here called Cortez the Killer. Really great. And you can see here on his guitar strap, he's got a little photo of Jimi Hendrix. That's kind of nifty, isn't it? Yeah, kind of these foggy photos, not very clear. I don't like the photography on this gatefold, but there's the band, and there they are at the Cow Palace, like I said. Formerly Cow Palace in San Francisco, California. So anyway, I talked about this guy a lot. It's Al Cooper, legendary keyboard player. And there's Mike Bloomfield right there, legendary guitarist. Al Cooper's still with us. Mike Bloomfield died quite young, and he is no longer with us. This was recorded across 3 nights in September of 1968 at Bill Graham's Fillmore West. We just heard about the Fillmore East with that Johnny Winter album, and now this one at the Fillmore West in San Francisco. So this was the sideman on this one. It's Skip Prokop on drums. Skip Prokop, of course, from Lighthouse. And on bass guitar, you had John Kahn. I'm a big fan of John Kahn as a bass player, mainly because of his work he did with the Jerry Garcia band. But Kahn was a session guy throughout the late 60s and played with a lot of people before he hooked up with Jerry Garcia. And this is just a legendary set of music. This is a double LP set. They do a cover of Simon & Garfunkel's 59th Street Bridge song, which is excellent. They do a cover of Traffic's Dear Mr. Fantasy. That's All Right, green, mixed with Green Onions. They do a version of that. It's just really good jam. And of course they do a version of the band's track The Wait right there. So it's on the inside here. No, just a big story on the inside here. So yeah, I was really happy to find a clean copy of this one at a show. I think it might have been the show a show last October, not the one I went to most recently in January. I am planning to go to a big show here in Worcester, Mass. That's in Western Mass here. That's about a 90-minute ride west of Metro Boston. Any viewers in the local area, it's called the Worcester Record Riot. That's going to be on Sunday, June 11th. So I will be going to that for certain, and then I'll probably hang it up. In the summer months, I don't go to shows. So, but this one in June's a big one, and that'll be since January since I've gone to a show. So I've kind of been not doing a lot of shopping because I really enjoy going to the shows and, you know, saving up some cash and going in there, and you can really come out a winner with a show versus just going to your local shops. And I like going to a show and just talking to lots of the people because, you know, I'm sort of an extrovert. Anyway, yeah, so that's that. So going into the world of country music, it's Waylon Jennings and the Family. Willie Nelson and the Family. Although Waylon Jennings, of course, was a good friend of Willie Nelson. So anyway, this is his band. He called the Family. Played on several records throughout the 70s. There's the band on the back right there. This is a double live set. This one recorded in Lake Tahoe, Nevada in 1978. Some good photos on the inside, I know, in here of the band. Yeah, huge band. There they are, and they're the Family, Willie's Family. That must have been a fun tour bus. I cannot imagine. Nothing really here on the inside. Yeah, it's on Columbia. Deal with that later. Troublesome. All right, so some of the songs on here. Whiskey River, Funny How Time Slips Away. He does a real good version. I bought that Redheaded Stranger album recently. It's starting to grow on me, but I've listened to it 3 times and I don't know, but the live version on here I really like. He does a medley from that album, Time of the Preacher, I Couldn't Believe It Was True, etc., which it's good. It's a 4 or 5 part medley. Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. Johnny Paycheck shows up on side 4 of this, and they do a medley together, or a duet rather, of Take This Job and Shove It. And then he does a Waylon Jennings song on here, The Only Daddy That'll Walk the Line. That's a really good one too. And Georgia on My Mind, Whiskey River. I mean, yeah, this is really loaded, really excellent. Willie and the Family. I keep wanting to say Waylon Jennings. Maybe I need to listen to some Waylon Jennings. I don't know, but I do have some. Yeah, mixing it up like I do. A little jazz for you. This is 1961. Charlie Byrd, one of my favorite jazz guitarists. I really like the guy a lot, especially when he went all bossa nova. So this one was recorded again, like I said, right here as it says, at the Village Vanguard in New York City, Greenwich Village. It's a 3-piece. There's a bass player, there's a drummer, and there's Charlie Byrd on guitar. So there's 3 tracks on side 1. He does a Duke Ellington song called Just Squeeze Me, but side 2 is really cool. It's 1-piece Fantasia suite of Which Side Are You On? It's excellent. So you could hear some of the bossa nova, some little bit of undertones to this. I wouldn't say overtones because there's still he's not fully on with the bossa nova. But this same year he would travel to Brazil not long after he did this recording, and then a year and a half after this he was in the studio doing jazz samba with Stan Getz, that legendary album. I have a Japanese pressing of jazz samba, and it's really terrific. So again, this is Charlie Byrd live at the Village Vanguard. Get your jazz on. All right. This is Dire Straits. When I did my 10 bands from England, they were omitted unintentionally. I mean, those lists, like when I made those videos a couple of weeks ago, like I said, those are fluid. I mean, week to week those change. So anyway, yeah, I've got all the Dire Straits studio stuff, and I've got this live one as well. I've even got a couple of Mark Knopfler solo albums. I did see Mark Knopfler solo in 2002 when I was still living in Canada. It was an excellent show. Can't think of the name of the tour Yeah, Sailing to Philadelphia was the name of that tour. I had to think about that for a minute. But anyway, I pulled this out. It's kind of funny. This was a record store when I was living in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario. It was a store called Orange Monkey, and I bought this probably around, I don't know, 01 or 02. Right around the time I met my wife. What a time that was. So yeah, Orange Monkey, the name of the store, but I like the price here, $6. This is going on Discogs if it's in good condition. This is easily a $30 record. And again, this is a double live in really excellent condition. This features some of my favorite tracks: Once Upon a Time in the West, Romeo and Juliet from Making Movies. Sultans of Swing, of course, is on here, good version. Really great version of Telegraph Road on here too. So this is Dire Straits, and it is a gatefold. Yeah, there's some cool photos, caricatures of the band, and pictures of the crowd. Not sure where this was. It just says mixed in London. Doesn't say the venue. Yeah. Anyway, that's Dire Straits, Alchemy, live. All right, and we're getting to the end here. What do we got here? All right, yeah, this is Simple Minds, live in the City of Light. Of course, that's Paris. This features throughout it's got a number of stuff from not their very beginnings, but from Sparkle in the Rain. There's a couple of cuts on here, like Waterfront's on here. Promised You a Miracle is on this from New Gold Dream. And what else? Book of Brilliant Things. That's from Sparkle in the Rain. Sanctify Yourself, one of the only good songs on Once Upon a Time. Yeah, so that's it. That's Simple Minds, live. That's a really nice cover. Embossed gold on the front of that one. Really disappointing gatefold in the inside here. Like, come on, you can't put some pictures of the band. But they made up for it. Yes, they did. It's a nice booklet. Almost like a concert program that you buy at a concert. And this actually has a lot of good pictures here. There's Jim Kerr and Charlie Burchill right there, his lead guitar player. Yeah, Jim Kerr had a lot of hair back then, like I did. And he doesn't have any more than I do now. So that's Jim Kerr. They're still playing live. I'd go see them again. They're still putting out some studio stuff. It's not very good in my mind, but I think when they play live, they're just playing all the old stuff for fans like me. So there's some kind of artsy-fartsy photos of the band. I guess when they're on their vacation in France or wherever the hell they were. This album, of course, is in Paris, so I have to think these photos were all taken in France. There's a picture of Jim Kerr on stage. That's a really good shot of him right there. Yeah, I saw them. Would have been the Sparkle in the Rain tour way back when, in 1984, in Toronto, venue called the Kingswood Music Theatre. My friend Brian at the Embryonic Robot, being a Toronto guy, I'm sure he would know that. So I bought this. This was a British import. You could see Virgin, imported by Virgin Canada, right there, of course, because I was living in Canada, and there in Toronto, Ontario. So yeah, Simple Minds, live in the City of Light. Great double LP live set. And we're closing it out here. This was a reissued CD. Well, it was never on a record before, so I wouldn't call it a reissue, actually, from 1999. It's like the Prince song. I'm going to party like it's 1999 or 1969 in the case of this. This is Jimi Hendrix, his complete set at Woodstock. Monday morning, 9 a.m., closing out the event. He was. So, yeah, this is really nice. I think this is a single CD. No, it's a double CD package. Very nicely put together. Nice shot of Jimmy right there. And some more photos on the inside. There he is playing the guitar with his teeth like he would. So yeah, I mean, everything's here. If you've seen the Woodstock film, you know the set list on here. You know, you've got, what am I doing here? Got Message to Love, Spanish Castle Magic, Voodoo Child, of course, the Star Spangled Banner, Purple Haze, on, Hey Joe, etc. So that's Jimi Hendrix live at Woodstock, 1999. That's a very good double CD if you're into CDs. I don't think that is on vinyl. That might be one of those record store day things that would get reissued. I'm certain. If there was one to get reissued by Hendrix live, that would be a good one to do for record store day. Anyway, that's going to close it out. So again, I'm going to put a link to Steve All the World's a Stage, that his 12 picks for great live albums. I'll put a link to that in my description for this video. And please go check out his channel. He does a lot of great exhaustive work. He's putting out videos here like an assembly line. The guy's doing great. And he's even somehow putting them out while he's on vacation. Miracle. But anyway, folks, that'll be it for me. There's a couple of people running contests. Like I said in my last video, I may do a couple of those quick videos over the weekend because today was the pick of the week. We got beautiful sun today. We're heading into a typhoon again Saturday and Sunday. It's going to rain all weekend here, but end of April showers. So that'll hopefully bring some May flowers and sun. So anyway, folks, I will see you next time. Have a good one.